Yep, getting that right now. Thank you so much. Click that little fun button on the side so we can make sure that everybody can get on. Exciting to see everybody. It's been a minute, right? Everybody's excited. I'm excited. How did you guys like that call? Put some maybe some takeaways from that call earlier, just at 5 o'clock. Did you guys get any exciting nuggets out of that? Nice. Gave me chills. That's a good way to start out. Perfect. What else? Anybody else? Anybody else even on? Yeah. No takeaways, huh? Okay, well, cool. Well, anyways, I'm excited. I'm Justin Avini. If some of you don't know me, really excited to see you guys. It's been a minute since we've done one of these calls. Um, but we're here to celebrate some people. We're here to celebrate some people, and we're definitely here to talk about an event that if we decide to, we could totally be at next year. And that's Integrated National and Above Leadership Retreat. It will be a solid event every year. So we want to make sure that there's a point of that. So a couple real quick notes. One is we will be having our event Grow Global in April every year. That is a locked in thing. They're going to start to get better at letting us know a year in advance so we have time to plan. So in April, there will be a Grow Global event. And then every September, there will be an Integrated National and Above event. No, it's not Sundance, but thank you, some of you guys, for asking me to have fun in Sundance, but that's not what that was. But that being said, these are really good events, guys, because this isn't like, how do you sponsor a client? This isn't how do you sponsor a coach? It really talks about mindset and what do we want to create. And you get to sit down and hang out with Dr. A after hours. My suggestion would be is you probably want to be global by the time you get to this event, because you'll get invited back to the real after hours with Dr. A, which is where Desiree and Joy whooped his butt in pool. But other than that, we had a great time. It was very unplugged, and we had a good conversation with him, so that was fun. So I'm going to get out of the way. Welcome to our rank up call for August, and hopefully we can continue to have some of these. But I want to bring the wonderful Janine on, as she hit associate director, and she's actually been rocking it, man. I'm not surprised to see her like just jump over ED and be like integrated regional here shortly, but she's really rocking it. So Janine, are you there?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Janine. I am a mom of twin boys, 3-year-old twin boys. I started program about 5.5 months ago. I really started it to lose weight, but I told Desiree that I actually was bamboozled by this program because I didn't realize that I was going to get the energy I needed for my twin boys because they are very high energy and I was low energy, always tired. And I always put myself last and served my boys first. So with this program, it helped me, fuel my body, do all the right things where the weight loss happened, but then I also gained so much more from it. So um, I started coaching about a month into my program. And I think it came right at the right time because I was thinking about going back to work um, in social services. And I really didn't want to because my twin boys really needed me. They were born premature, so they needed a lot of therapies during the week, developmental, physical, occupational, all those kind of therapies. So I just really needed to stay home. And when Desiree drip coaching on me, it got my wheels turning. And then I was like, you know what? If I can stay home, help people, because I have that social work heart that can't be removed, help people while I'm also with my boys, I got to do this. So I was able to help out first. It started with friends and family because that's my circle. And I knew this program worked for me. I wanted all of them to feel what I felt, and it started from there. And then I started seeing that there's more people that need this, and it just like grew in my mind. um, I was able to rank up to manager first, and I was able to stay there, but I wanted to hit ED. So last month what I did was, and I started late. I didn't front load my month. I started late, but I got on the phone with people. I even hired my niece. I was like, hey, if you can watch my boys for a little bit, I want to just fill my day with calls. And I did. I filled my days, and then the time slots that I didn't have anyone to have a health assessment with, I ended up just picking up my phone and calling people. So, you know, even if it wasn't a health assessment, it was just kind of to build that relationship and say, hey, how's it going? And then kind of share what I've been doing. One person, it ended up turning into a health assessment. I haven't spoken to him in 3 years, and he saw what I was doing on Facebook. And that's where the power hours come in to play. I'm not able to get in the power hour live, but I make sure that I get it in. I watch the playbacks. I watch playbacks on trainings because a lot of times I don't have the attention with my boys screaming in my ear, but I make sure I get them in. And then I was so scared to do my lives, but I did it. And I kept in contact with Desiree. She's my coach and, you know, mentor. So I was telling her everything I was doing, and she just encouraged me. And when she said, speak to everyone, I did. I spoke to like a school principal, my massage therapist, a barista at a coffee shop. And I had people, my friends and family, hey, can you please share my post? Or, you know, called people and say, hey, I know I spoke to you about my program before, but would you happen to have anyone that, or could you refer anyone to me? I'd be so honored for your referrals. So those are the things that I did to get from manager to associate director. But again, I was shooting for ED. So the things that I can say, like, shoot above where you want to be, because, you know, you'll land somewhere and it'll be above where you currently are. And then don't wait till the last of the month to do it, because I would have hit it if I started in the beginning. And then stay in action regardless of the outcome, because I can tell you I had a health assessment, at least one. There were more than one in the day, but at least one a day. And I mean, they didn't do it, or they didn't sign up then, but I know they will. And staying in action, the more you do it, the better you get at it. And I feel like the boldness grows as you're doing it. So that's how I got there.
Awesome, man. Love those golden nuggets for sure. And definitely leveraging time, right? Having people help you so you have some time freed up. That's super huge, guys. Super huge. Well, thank you so much, Janine. It's fun to see people grow, man. I mean, this girl's rocking and rolling. She's doing it scared. She's doing it when she can. She's doing it with the kids climbing all over her. I mean, real truth is just, if you want it, you'll go find a way to do it. And that's awesome. So awesome. Well, Miss Lorraine, are you there? We'd love to hear how you you ranked up. Can you come off and share your story with us?
It's my pleasure to do so. My story is really, really different than the one you just heard. I wasn't able to have kids, so I taught 43 years. I'll come back to that. I've always been an athlete, and so I train in triathlon right now. And I was to the point where I was kind of feeling like I don't know, frumpy would be a good way. I lacked energy. I didn't do well in my events. I just was not in a good state. So I went to my coach, Debbie, and I said, I want to go on program. And she looked at me like, what are you, whack? I said, no, I really want to go on. I just want to lose 20 pounds. Well, I lost 35 and my athletic part of my life really took off. This last summer, I had 2 podiums, one at the world level and one at the national level in triathlon. So I was very, very happy with that. Now I need to tell you that I'm also 70, so I don't necessarily fit the mood of so many coaches being young and with young children and stuff, but I really feel like I really felt called to share this mission with anybody who was willing to listen. And so finally, after a year, I decided to become a coach. Now, what happened as I became coach is I went through a paradigm shift in the last 3 months, and I realized I was just trying to seek after clients when I need my skills in my professional teaching life were coaching and mentoring. So my paradigm shift was, let's get some coaches let's add some coaches to my team. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now, is thinking of it in a different light. This person has the skills. In fact, I'm meeting with my triathlon coach next week to talk to her about the opportunities of using her skills in our wonderful business. The 3 tips I have to share with you are simple. They're the C's. My 3 C's are: 1, community. The community has even when in my down periods as a coach, has always lifted me up. We need to engage in our pages. We need to engage in when there are events. I had the wonderful opportunity to go to Cabo. It was amazing. But our events that we have locally too need to see more of me and more engagement. And so I'm doing that. My next one was coaching, that paradigm shift I told you about, looking after mentoring or sponsoring new coaches. So that's a huge paradigm shift for me. And I've learned that in my most recent trainings. And my final C is consistency. We need to be consistent. And I have not been consistent. And so when I became consistent, boom, guess what happened? I became manager. So there is some definite connection there. And in my consistency, I got into the Power Hour A to Z. And I love it so much that if I can't make it for some other reason, I'm listening to that recording and I'm on there. And my Facebook has come alive. It is just alive. And so that has really helped me a lot. So those are my that whole Facebook A to Z makes us work in a systematical way, and that's good. And I tend to be, I'm a musician, I'm an artist, I tend to be a little abstract random. So being in a consistent, systematic system is really helping me. That's all I got. And thanks.
I love that, Lorraine. Thank you so much. And it's true. Consistency, consistency, consistency. It's not rocket science, man. Don't change it up. Don't do something different. Just do more of it. And that's really awesome. Well, I'm excited for you. I'd love to see you rank up and rank up and rank up. And let's get to some of these events, because like you mentioned, events are magical, man. I don't think I missed but one, actually 2 events. 1, because we had a baby, but 2, because I didn't rank up or I didn't stay at rank. To be honest with you, I missed the Sundance and it hurt my heart. But every other event I've been to since I started coaching. And so I really encourage you guys to, if you want to be to some of these events and ranks qualify you at these events, I would highly suggest getting there, even if it's not the money you're wanting to go after for that qualification. But you know what? We'll talk a little bit more about that and what money looks like. But thank you so much, Lorraine. Marianne, are you there? I saw you hop in there, girlfriend. Are you there? Are you able to share? New senior coach in the house?
Yeah. It's probably not
Okay.
me. Not me.
Oh, wait. Is it me?
Yes. No, it's you.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I probably should have clarified. My apologies.
Yeah, you should have.
Okay. Can everyone hear me okay? Sorry, I'm outside, so I know there's like wind and stuff. So, hi, I'm Marianne. I'm a mom of 4 boys, and I've been pretty self-conscious about my weight since I was little. And I've tried, so many diets and cleanses, and I even tried keto and workout programs, and all of them kind of worked until it didn't. And I actually finished 75 hard, this challenge, on April 1st. Sorry, it's really loud. I finished this challenge, 75 hard on April 1st and of this year. And after I was done, celebrating that accomplishment, I just knew I needed to get into something else to, restart and reset my body. And, because I did get results, but not what I was looking for. And even though I was like mentally and physically stronger, I wasn't there yet. So I wanted to start something new, or maybe even do the program again. And it was just like perfect timing, because that's when I saw Janine's transformation post, and it just like radiated, positivity and health and confidence. And I was just so proud of her. And I wanted that for myself. And because, you know, at one point years ago, I was at my goal weight, but I didn't get there in a healthy way. So I still didn't see myself the way I should have, because I wasn't filling my body correctly, or I wasn't fueling my body correctly. So I started the program May, you know, the beginning of May, and you know, I was rocking it for a while, and it wasn't until like mid-July that's when like I seriously took a look at coaching, and Janine was dripping it on me for a little while, and but I didn't really get serious about it because I thought that I wasn't at my goal weight, so I thought that I couldn't, you know, coach someone when I wasn't there yet. But you know, my progress showed, and so I was able to bring my sister and my mom on board, and I wanted them to feel like Janine said. I wanted to feel like have my circle feel the same way I felt, as good as I felt. And so I was coaching them, and you know, we were doing great, and they were doing great on program. And then my dad got really sick, and he ended up passing away on August 1st. Sorry, I don't say that out loud too often. So like hearing myself say it, it's like, yeah. So he passed away, and I was only coaching for about a couple weeks until I kind of stopped. And because I wasn't emotionally there, like in the right headspace. So I reset a couple times, and after his funeral services, I wanted to focus on something good. And the program actually really helped, you know, my mom and my sister and me, you know, just kind of, because since we're so emotionally drained, you know, like when you're, sorry, there's an airplane. When you're that drained, and then you're not filling your body, you know, with the right things, I know that we'd feel like 10 times as worse. So because we were on program for a majority of August, we were able to, I mean, everything was so heavy around us, but we knew physically we were okay. And we were still working toward our goals. So after his services, like I said, I wanted to focus on something good. And so I reached out to Desiree and Janine, and I let them know that, and I kind of like jumped back into coaching, and I did a few training calls, and I was able to get my husband and my brother and his wife to start the program. And today is actually my brother and my sister-in-law's day one. So I'm really excited for them to be able to you know, go through what we were going through, and really feel good about their decision. And yeah, so I would say just, you know, like, even though I've reset, you know, multiple times, I'm nowhere, I'm like barely halfway to my goal weight. And but like my progress is showing, and I feel more confident in you know, just how I'm carrying myself. And I know it shows to my circle, and I want to share that with, you know, my family, and, you know, everyone that they know. So I would say just, I mean, I'm not going to give up on myself. I'm not going to give up on my family. And that, I mean, that's what it's really all about. I know, like, in my heart and in my head, I'm going to get to my goal weight. You know, it's just not a matter of if, it's when. And I want to help as many people as I can along the way. And you know, sorry, I'm nervous. Yeah, so yeah, just I would say, oh, and I'm also like slowly but surely, like, learning to live out loud, like posting more and just being more responsive to people who actually notice my progress. I know, like, when I was visiting, with family and stuff, they were able to, like, they commented and they'd say, oh, you look different, you look so good, you look healthy, and all of that. And just being more responsive to them, it has helped me a lot. So when I actually I got my brother and my husband and his wife as clients, I was actually surprised to learn that I ranked up to senior coach. I was so surprised, and it just made me want to push for more. And so I'm going to be more active on the community calls and the huddles, and just really like dive in and see where this can take me, because I really believe in the program. I believe in how good it feels, and I'm ready to do more. So that's me.
Awesome, Marianne. And it's so cool because you're the understanding of, like, that's why we need community, right? That's why we need accountability. And that's the coolest thing about this group is they'll let you do that. So once again, sorry for your loss. I can definitely relate with you on that. But keep going, stay connected with your team. Like you mentioned, you're about to do, stay on these trainings, these calls. Just really lean in, because I told a client earlier that's kind of vacillating right now is, even with busy weeks, you only fail at this if you quit, right? And that's the cool thing is we can continue on, we can continue forward and live that life and have that accountability. So I'm really excited for you, man. Thank you so much for getting on. Congratulations again for senior coach. So kind of as we transition, guys, really excited, over this last weekend, we had, like I mentioned, some of you guys were hopping on, we had an IND event, Integrated National and Above event. And it's really exciting and a little bit of, I'll just say it this way. It's kind of like a mini Sundance. Honestly, you're, like I mentioned before, you're not really talking about how to acquire clients. You're not really talking about how to acquire coaches. You are a little bit, but it's more about what your mindset is, where you want to go, what you want to have, what do you have in your hands. And so I know I had some shifts, and I know some other people that were there had some shifts. So I want to kind of get out of the way and have Joy come on and kind of share her shifts, and then we'll have Des come on and kind of share hers. And I'm really excited to see from their vantage point what they got from it.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Justin. Well, first of all, thank you for everyone that shares. This is my favorite call because it's not easy, and a lot of us are just starting out. And Marianne, my heart's with you, but you personify the servant's heart. Like everything you've been through, you're on this call, and that really leads to what this weekend was about. At the end of the day, the only difference between us, yes, and some personal development, and someone that hits the top of our company is they do it no matter what. They go on vacation, they still work. No matter what is going on in their life, they do the work. Now, it can be different for everyone, right? It can be when you're on vacation, you wake up while your family's still asleep, you touch your business. They do it no matter what. And that, I always felt that, but it really hit home because one of the top leaders shared that she had a cancer diagnosis, and she was given 3 weeks to live. Now, I think most of us would say, okay, I think I'm going to stop working and I'm going to just enjoy life, right? But she said, I don't believe in that, what they're telling me. And she kind of just had this enlightenment and dug into her business, and she's been healthy for 15 years now. But there's just this higher frequency with the conversation. They have fires there. And so the government turned off electricity for the entire time. We had no hot water or electricity at this event. No one talked about it. It was not even a point of conversation. The conversations are just a higher level. So, I didn't really have any huge breakthroughs. I just sat and listened and absorbed, and I looked at everyone around me. And they were all different ages. And it's really fun because, like Lorraine said, she's older, I'm older, but they were all different ages there, from younger to very senior people. This is available for everyone. As you work on your personal development, that's what's so tied into this, right? We don't grow, our business doesn't grow until we grow. And I love that. So something else is passing down the skills. That's something that I have to look at. You know, really digging into, are you passing down the skills to your team? And that's really, really important to look at. And that's something that I came back and I spent most of the day, I think I slept on Sunday, but I spent most of the day really looking at our systems. Are the skills being passed down? Are they, so it makes it an easy transition. So when you bring people into your team and you introduce them, that they have the tools to bring it down to when they bring people in, and it just becomes a very smooth process. So, you know, again, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, now I'm going to build this huge business. I'm already in that place. But what really hit me was they just do it no matter what, no matter what's going on in their life. David and Terry Miller, who are at the top of the company, their house burnt down. I mean, it was a crazy story. They went out and purchased a new house and we were invited to go there, but nothing ever skips a beat. And for some of you, that might sound a little crazy, like, wait, there's no way, that's too intense. Hear from my heart. I was in corporate America, all right? I didn't think it was possible to have this type of income without stress and pressure. You guys, it is possible. So to have that type of income as you grow your business, to be able to decide what you do with your time, and if you want to donate or start a nonprofit, you will have to put the work in, and it means every day when you don't want to do it. So that's kind of what I really saw, that higher frequency of conversation. And the people that really have these large businesses, they do it no matter what. So thank you for letting me share. And thank you again. I love hearing everyone's stories tonight.
I love all that. Yeah, that's definitely some stuff I got to take out of it. And it's so true. I mean, you know, Dr. A's boat burned down right before convention, actually waiting in the dock to go to convention. They went over and they were headed to convention and they got there a few days early. And while they were sleeping, something triggered in the kitchen and they barely made it out alive. And the man, without even a buck, showed up 3 days later to convention after spending a whole night literally naked in front of his friends because he had nothing when they were rescued out of it. So, you know, it's kind of crazy, the mindset and the level of things that people have from what they have. And one thing I'll say before I let Desiree speak is really start to think about, you know, if you came into this to earn $500, $1,000, $3,000, when Dr. A speaks on growing an IPD business, it's to weather the storm of anything that gets thrown at you in life. Even if you don't feel like you need that type of an income, you need that type of an income because things will come up. And I'll talk a little bit more about my shifts in a minute, but Desiree DeBay, are you there?
I sure am. And I'm excited because Joy really postured this well as far as what I was going to share. And she was talking about, you know, some of her takeaways and are we really transferring skills? And that's really what I took away the most from this weekend, because something that I don't know if we were asked this question, but something that was said was, if you're leading from the front, you know it. We know it. We know whether we're leading from the front or not. And the most important journey that we can be on is self-awareness. And that's where I feel like I have the greatest shifts, because just certain things like learning that for every new goal that we have, it's going to take a brand new commitment. It's not our original why, and it's not going to be. So that's where I really got to kind of sit in my thoughts with that and just really truly understand that what got me here is not going to get me to that next level where I want to go. So I have to recommit to this and really make a decision. How many times we hear make a decision? All the leaders that we heard speak all acknowledge that when they made a decision, they went. So, you know, kind of sitting with myself and saying just internally, I'm sick of my BS and I'm going to give this a full body yes. not just a surface level yes, because it sounds nice, but a full body yes, and really identify what my distractions are so that I can go to that next level, so that I can lead from the front better. And so I can transfer those skills on to my team and beyond. I know a lot of us work together, you know, as a group, which is awesome. So my biggest, I guess, breakthrough that I experienced was sponsoring. We all hear so much about sponsoring, and I think we're not speaking the right language, I guess. I feel like there's a missing piece to that puzzle where we're not quite hearing what we need to hear to get out there and go do it. So what I kind of sat there with in my own thoughts was trying to figure out what verbiage, what language do I need to speak with my team in order for them to hear this, wholeheartedly hear it, and then go offer it. And what I decided and wrote down was just basically getting out of our own way as far as feeling like we're trying to get people or make money off of people or we need them. That has nothing to do with it, and we need to break up with that. I need to break up with that and teach my team how to break up with that mentality. And instead, really understanding what sponsoring means. What is it? What does that mean? What is sponsoring really? We all know we're here and we love it, but have we forgotten why, is my question to myself. So what I came up with for me was really understanding that we are leaders who help identify other leaders when they don't see it in themselves quite yet because they still have blinders on. So as soon as we help them learn how to remove those blinders, as soon as we start really truly awakening them, you know, helping them identify their full potential, compliment them, breathing life into them, teaching them how to really confront themselves every single day, that is when we help people find their own breakthrough, because people have been let down by their own family, their spouses, their friends, enemies. They've been torn down. And what we do is revive. We revive people back into believing in themselves enough to go revive other people. And that's what sponsoring is. When we help them get to their happiest, healthiest, most confident self, now we're just teaching other people to teach other people. So, and last, I'll leave it at this. It only takes one person in the world. People only need one person in the world to believe in them. That's all I got, Justin.
Yeah, man, I get to follow that stuff, right? So here's the fun part about this event, guys, is, you know, to Desiree's point, to Joy's point, people made a decision up there. And one of the stories that kind of resonated with me about I'll just say we as in me, feel like we're too busy, or we have too many kids, or things just if they could be here or if they could be there. You know, to Janine's point, if she can't get on the call at 8 a.m., she gets on the call afterwards with her kids climbing all over her. She wants this. So the story for me was, as a husband and wife, they were both part of a practice. He was doing a certain industry. She had another industry, and basically was let go of his job. And they sat at ED for 6 years. They were comfortable at ED with that extra source of income. But when this happened, and I always say this saying, and a lot of people kind of write it down, but they don't really understand it. But I see it all the time in coaches. Coaches will vacillate at a certain place, and then they'll come in when it's important. And it's called pain pushes till vision pulls. And so this couple had a dad basically come home and become a full-time dad. And they kind of reached out to their mentorship, and within 2 years went from ED to presidential. And I can't remember exactly, they might even be integrated presidential, or they're pretty dang close to it. But in 2 years, they made a decision. They got really lean with their finances. They got really lean with their decisions on what they did. They asked for people to help with the 4 children. They asked people to help with the 4 children. I'm going to say it one more time. They asked people to help with the 4 children. So when we sit here and think that we're too busy with our 1 kid, our 2 kids, our 3 kids, our job, our family, our stories, things that you want to decide on is really important. And that intimate time with Dr. A, when we got invited, Globals and Above got invited back to Terry Miller's house. Literally, they'd only been living in this house for 10 days. They bought it cash, fully furnished. When I talk about when obstacle is the way, when you build an IPD business or a legacy business, when your house completely not only burns down, but explodes because a gas line blows through your living room up into your attic, they were able to purchase an 18-acre, most beautiful ranch up in Washington. And they were in it literally 10 days. They didn't have to worry about decorating it for us to come over. They didn't have to worry about getting it all dialed in before we came over. Why? Because they bought it fully furnished and they said, hey, Dr. A, since we're doing this event, why don't you come over and share with people? That's the capacity of what I say when I said this earlier. You may not be in this all for money because money's bad, right? That's what we're told. But I will tell you this, when family or friends need help, you'll be able to support them. When your house explodes, when your boat catches on fire, when your house floods, when your kids need a private school, when you need somebody to take care of your kids because you got to go to 3 events back to back to back, because to Lorraine's point, events are magical. Guys, we have such an amazing vehicle here, such an amazing vehicle. So for us, when we come into this and say, man, if I could just make $6 grand a month, I'll quit my job. We need to reach higher. We need to build this all the way to where we need to. And I'm not saying you have to, but you could choose to. Because to Dr. A's point, like he said on stage, and I was kind of nice. I was excited. I shouldn't say nice. I was excited to hear it because I feel like I tell you guys, and it's just Justin telling you guys. But he says, you know, to short words, if you making 10 grand a month or 5 grand a month or $2,000 a month and a $4,000 problem shows up or a $5,000 problem shows up or a $10,000 problem shows up, it distracts you. You can't think. That's your focal point. And guess what happens? Most of the time we're in the mission of building this and it shuts us down. And then it's like, I'm going to go back to that job. I'm comfortable here. I'm paying my bills. And then I'm going to struggle to get out of whatever that debt hole is that we're going to do, because that's how we're taught. Instead of, to Dan Bell's point, slow and steady in this business. This is going to sting a little bit, guys, but this is something that's same for myself. I'm speaking to myself. This was my takeaway. I'm not talking to you guys. It's like a training right now because I made sure to tell everybody don't preach. But these are things I got out of this. Slow and steady is still slow. Slow and steady is still slow. And if it takes you 4 or 5 years to get somewhere, just like it took those guys 6 years, and then his job got let go, and then they needed this, then they were scrambling to get that job together, then they were going for integrated presidential director. Instead of building this thing as fast and as quick as you can, tear the Band-Aid off, so when life events happen to you, you have that preparation. Money makes the world go round. However we want to dodge that, and I'm not in this for money, I just want to help people passionately, you will. But if you can't get yourself to a good place, you won't be able to impact people. And then to Desiree's point, my final thing is if you want to go help 500,000 people, or if you really want to go to, that's a number somebody said on stage, but if you want to go help a lot of people, you cannot do it yourself. You need business partners. And if you want to go do it in your lifetime, you need to do it quickly. And then lastly, I want to ask you a question. Would you be excited if Dan Bell or Dr. A was your direct mentor? Put a 2 in the chat. This last thing. Do you think their time's valuable? Put a 3 in the chat. Would you change the system and think that they would spend time with you then? Mentoring you. That was the biggest thing for me. Stop trying to change the system. Stop trying to do part of it. Stop trying to do certain things. When he said that on stage, I was like, damn. Dan Bell said that. So here's the things, guys. We have a system. You can't have a client do a 5, 7, and 12 and expect them to lose weight. Not going to happen, right? So why do we do a 5, 7, and 12 in our business? There is people out there that need us. So I'm super excited. I know this next year is going to be huge. We're going to definitely revamp some things. We've been talking about stuff. I know me and Desiree enjoy that for sure. Stay tuned for some things we want to bring to you guys. Hopefully everybody got some nuggets here, man. But to really understand the mission and what this is, I'm not asking you to go build an IPD business, because some people are going to hear me wrong. Like, I don't need that. That's not what I'm in it for. You're missing the train when I say it that way. If you make a decision to go do that, you can help so many people. It's not even funny, in whatever it is. Their car blows up, you could go buy them a car if it's your close friend. If their house burns down, you can have a bigger house so you can share with them so they can have time to regain things. You just don't know what life's going to bring, but all that does is slow us down, depresses us, puts us back in a safety net. But if we go build this thing fast, if we have that resourceful income, which is what Dr. A is talking about, you can help people get physically healthy, mentally healthy, and financially healthy, and even bless people that wouldn't even understand it. So that's really my takeaways this weekend. Like I said, I was speaking to myself when I did that. But you know, it's a super honor to be on with you guys. I want to celebrate those guys. I really hope we can have some amazing rank ups next week or next month, excuse me. But I'm excited for you guys. We have some new things coming, and we're going to really talk, and we'll get these things dialed in for you guys. So thank you so much for the evening. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you guys for sharing. I got so many nuggets from you guys as well. And let's rock this, man. It's the 12th of the month. So if you haven't touched base with your business coach, one thing I would say is don't get in the habit of saying turn in a map. We're not turning in our maps. We're sharing our goals. That was a Brad Miller comment. We don't turn in our maps. This isn't homework. But why don't you share your goals with your coaches on your map, on your board, and let's try to redial those things in and see what action steps we need to complete our goals, because our job is to help you get to our goals, not turn it in like a teacher. So love you guys. We'll talk to you soon, and let's go crush this, man.